Hey friends, welcome back. We are going to finish up the entryway makeover today. I really wanted to have the stair runner as its own standalone video because I want to make sure that you have enough information if this is a project that you're wanting to tackle yourself. So I wanted to kind of share the process in depth with you. So we're just going to jump right into it. The first thing that you need to do is determine the length of your stairs so you know how long of a stair runner you need. I'm gonna attempt to give you a visual. I should not be telling anyone how to do any kind of math, so if this doesn't make sense, you can Google it. I think there are a couple of different ways, but this seems to be the easiest, makes the most sense to me way. So we're gonna pretend like this is a stair. This is the top of our stair, also known as the tread. You're going to take a measurement from the back of the tread to the nose of the tread. You're gonna add that to your measurement from here to here. If you have a cloth measuring tape, you could get it all at once. And then you're gonna count how many steps you have and multiply your measurement by that amount of steps. We ended up having about 22 feet. It was a little over 22 feet. And then you can go and start searching for runners, getting an idea of pricing, how much it's gonna cost you, and how many runners you're going to need to order. When you're looking for runners, something that's really important is to take your design into consideration. So if you have a runner rug that has one just continuous design with no breaks in it, it's going to be much easier and less expensive to do it that way. In our case, we chose a design that has a rectangular box in it, and we wanted it to look like one long runner and not like several stuck together. So we didn't want the design to stop and then start again. So what we had to do was actually cut a significant amount off of each of our rugs from the top and the bottom in order to create that like flow in the design. So it's really important when you're picking out rugs that you take that into consideration because it's a lot more work to do like what we did. There's a lot more cutting involved, and I think the cutting and the joining of the rugs was the most time-consuming part of the process. A little tip here is once your runner rugs come in, be sure to open them all and make sure that they all match and look the same, because even though we ordered all of the same rugs, one of them felt a bit different. The color was slightly off, and it was noticeable when they were next to each other. So I had to send one back and reorder another one in its place. So that would have saved us some time. So the boys just ran off to a baseball game, and I'm going to start getting the stairs prepped and ready to go so that tomorrow we can install the stair runner. The first thing that I need to do is go through, vacuum all of the stairs, and take a magic eraser to the stair fronts because they're a little bit dirty and I want to get that kind of all out of the way first. I'm going to go through each individual stair and I'm going to measure where the stair runner is going to lay and mark it with painter's tape. If I have time, I will also start to cut the rug padding and using carpet tape to get that in place as well. I don't know if I'll have time to do that all today, but I'm gonna try to get done as much as I can so we can focus just on the install tomorrow. So here is what we got to prepare for this project. We've got some staples. We got one of these carpet tucker tools. So this will help us just keep it nice and taut as we are stapling it. We needed to grab a lighter because we will have to singe some of the edges, some fabric scissors, and we already had this carpet tape. I actually just ordered another roll because they didn't have anything at Home Depot that was removable like this is, but I know that this is very strong and will keep it in place. So this is the brand here, YYX Life. I'll be sure to link this down below, but I ordered another roll of this that should be here tomorrow. We've got our runners. I have one other one upstairs, so we got 3 total. They are 7 feet each. We also decided to get this carpet and rug cushion just to give a little bit of padding underneath because the rugs are pretty thin. So we are going to cut this. We're going to use the carpet tape to attach it. I will show you all of that step by step. So the first thing that we did was create a guide for ourselves to keep our stair runner straight as we were going down. We did this by taking the measurement of each stair width and subtracting the runner width from that and dividing that remaining total by 2 so that we knew exactly what we were going to have open on each end of the runner. And then we placed blue painter's tape in each of those spots so that the runner would sit right in between the pieces of blue tape. Now, we went through and measured each step individually because, especially in our old home, the measurements were not all the same. I will say, as long as you get your stair runner installed straight and you're pulling really taut, you're not gonna have a problem keeping it straight, but it is nice just to have that guide to kind of check in with yourself as you go and make sure that you're keeping it nice and straight and it's not getting off center as you get towards the bottom of the stairs. The next thing that we decided to do was add some cushioning. We only did this on top of the treads, and we used some rug tape to mount those. You can also staple them if you want. I didn't want to put more staples into the treads of the stairs than necessary, so we decided just to use some really strong rug tape to get those down, leaving a little bit of excess rug tape on the outsides of the cushion so that our rug could also kind of stick down to that as well. We got the carpet padding from Home Depot for $30. Luke cut them into long strips and then from there cut them down to size to fit each tread. We did keep these shorter in width than the actual stair runner and made sure that there was excess rug tape on each side so that when the runner goes down, the runner rug will actually stick down over the side so you don't see the padding underneath, if that makes sense. You'll kind of get a visual of that here in just a bit. While Luke was getting the padding ready, I went ahead and applied the rug tape to the stairs. So you'll notice I start to conserve the amount of tape that I'm using as I continue to go. I ran out and was waiting for some to come in the mail and realized I just didn't need to be using that much. So a piece on each side and then just one kind of on that front center area is more than enough. In the end, we used a total of 4 rugs. We cut them right above this white line, and essentially this entire section became just scrap pieces that we couldn't use. In order for the design to line up the way we wanted it to, that was just a necessary evil, and it felt like such a waste, but it kind of is what it is. What we found to be the best way to cut this was to use a straight edge of some kind. Our level wasn't quite long enough, so we found like a long piece of wood. We marked it with a pen. I kind of just would go back and forth over that a couple of times to get it dark enough to where I could see the line. And then you cut into your brand new rug, which also feels just very wrong. Almost as wrong as burning it, which was the next part of the process. You do need to singe off those fibers so that you don't have unraveling. Use an abundance of caution if you are singeing your rug. Just obviously fire, fabric, just be careful. Once we singed it, I had some fabric glue on hand that I went ahead and used to just kind of add an extra layer of protection to kind of keep it from unraveling. And now on to the actual install. We did this literally one step at a time. So we would apply the padding down and make sure that there's enough excess rug tape on the outside of each side so that the runner rug could stick down to that as well to cover the padding, and then do the stapling, and then we would move on to the next step, apply the carpet padding down, and so on and so forth. So you'll notice this first piece we do have to staple right at the top there. As we continue to go, you'll notice that when you are doing kind of that top staple, you're going to be doing it under the nose of the tread, but on the very first step, it has to kind of be right at the top, if that makes sense. I think some of this will make a little more sense as you kind of see us continue to go through. Then using the carpet tuck tool to just make sure it's pushed back really taut on there, and then applying those staples to the back of the steps and continuing to move forward, pulling really taut. So once you have the rug started, really applying the rest of it down is pretty simple. Luke got into a flow state and just was able to knock that out pretty quickly. You slow down a little bit when you have to start joining the two rugs together. You have to pay attention a bit to the design and how it's going to continue, where you should cut it off at. We kind of had a different situation. It felt like every time we would have to join two rugs together, and would just kind of assess as we go. I'll show you a couple of examples of that here in just a little bit. But really, once you kind of get going, once you have one rug started, that part will start to go pretty quickly for you. Up next, I'm going to share with you how we transitioned the two rugs together. A couple of different ways that we had to do it. So this first one, we had to cut, mark, singe, glue, all of the things while it was already installed. I highly recommend not trying to pre-cut your rugs because you never know where the design is going to land. Unless you have a continuous design, then pre-cut them all and just your life is going to be so much easier than ours was. But every time we thought we knew where the design would land, we were wrong. So we had to just kind of wait and then do it while it was already halfway installed on the stairs. And even in this one, you'll notice that that little white line that comes kind of at the end of the box is showing on the end of that stair. It was the best we could do though. And we just kind of had to roll with it, which was kind of just part of the process with this. And now I'm going to show you a couple more of the transitions and how we tackled those. This one unfortunately won't work where we were going to try to tuck this underneath and we just don't have enough slack to do that. So what we've decided we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut this one across here. It's already stapled in, so we can't pull it out without running the risk of ruining the rug. So we're gonna cut it here. We're gonna tuck some of that underneath the padding here, and then we'll cut an angle on the side so that you're not getting that double seam, and we'll place the new piece on top, and hopefully it won't be super noticeable. Where we've been connecting the rugs is actually under here, but in this case we're going to have to make the transition back on the step part. So hopefully we'll be able to blend it pretty well. But that's just kind of the way it's going to work out with the length of this rug. We have two more rugs that we're going to add. Hopefully this will be the only tough spot that we have to try to deal with. So that's what we're going to do now. Here's a look at that transition that we had to do at the back of the stair. It is not noticeable at all, so we were happy with that. Here was another technique that we used for kind of marking our rug when we were doing another transition. So each transition posed its own challenges. We kind of had to put our heads together, figure out what the plan was going to be, and just kind of go with the flow. A lot of this project was like that, but it was very doable. I think you could get this done in a weekend, and it totally transformed the space. So now that you've seen us installing the runner, I want to do a little look back at everything that we've done in this space. You can see the before and afters and just the start to finish process on this makeover. We absolutely love the way that this runner came out. It's given us so much peace of mind with our little one going up and down the stairs and one of our dogs who goes up and down the stairs as well. Also made it quieter to go up and down the stairs, which has just been kind of an added benefit to it, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So all around, it's a win. I hope that if you are planning to take on this project, you're going to approach it with more confidence than you had before. If you found some value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and we'll see you very soon in a brand new video.